Hey y'all, Matt here from RetroOnly.com. Today I'm going to be doing a full review of the 8bitdo controller for the Nintendo Switch. This is a wireless controller that you can purchase on places like Amazon, eBay, etc. And this controller is used specifically for the Nintendo Switch. So I'm going to be doing a full unboxing and review of this controller and whether I think you should buy it or not in this video. Before I hop into that, please be sure to hit the like button and then also subscribe to our channel, as it really does help us out a lot and also allows other people around the world to see these videos and get their questions about the Nintendo Switch answered. So let's go ahead and hop into the unboxing of this controller. All right, so let's go ahead and open this sucker up. All you gotta do is pull it apart like that to get it open, and then on the back, you're simply gonna pull it out to get it open as well. You've got the different information about the software inside of there. Then you've got a little plastic cover that covers the controller itself. Go ahead and pull that out of there. And then behind it here, you've got the instructions, and then you also have the USB-C. So that is everything that is inside the 8bitdo controller for the Switch, and that's everything that's inside the box for that. Now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you exactly how to sync it up to your Nintendo Switch, and then I'll go into the review of this controller, whether I personally prefer it or not, when compared to some of the other controllers that are on the market, the pros and the cons of this specific controller. All right, so here we are inside of the Switch. As with most other third-party controllers, you do have to go into the Switch with a different controller first. You're gonna go to controllers, then you're gonna go to change grip order. Once you've done that, 8bitdo's instructions say you need to push the Y button and the start button at the same time to pair it. And then you're gonna go ahead and push A. And as you can see, I am now paired to the Nintendo Switch, and you're able to move around, play games with this controller, and everything like that. So that's a really quick pairing process. You just push the Y and start buttons to get it to pair, then you can choose the vibration if you want to do that. So now let's go ahead and hop into a review of what I think of this actual controller. Now, my personal opinion about this controller is a little bit different. Honestly, I don't exactly like it. And there's a couple reasons why. The first is the box. Now, I know that might seem a little weird, but the box itself just looks kind of generic, to be honest. And for a controller in this price range, which is $30 to $40 approximately, it does vary, of course, I expect the box to look a little bit nicer than that. Now, obviously the rip came, came from Amazon that way. That's not that big of a deal, but it looks super generic. So I'm not a real fan of that. The other thing that I absolutely do not like about this controller is how hard it is to see what buttons you're pushing. If you're brand new to the Nintendo Switch, you're not gonna have all the buttons memorized yet. And so you're going to have to push specific buttons to do specific things, depending on what game you're playing. It might say to push Y, or push X, or push A, or push B. And for you to see these is very difficult because it has them labeled, but it is so faint, it's really hard to see. Now, I know that was a design choice that they made, trying to make it look more fancy, I guess, look more sleek, those sorts of things, but I'm honestly not a fan because you might be buying this controller for yourself, your family, your friends, your children, and they've maybe never played it before, and it says press Y, and they have to spend forever tilting it and looking and seeing the tiny different variation of color that says what button it is right there. I'm not a fan of that, to be honest. The other thing is, I know it's designed to look like old gamepads, and being that it's the Nintendo Switch, they're trying to make it look kind of retro. I really don't like the design choice. All of the other controllers that all of us are used to on modern consoles are normally bigger, and they'll have longer handles. This one has shorter handles on the side, which makes gripping it a little bit awkward. And then where all the buttons are going to be at is just different. You've got these down here, so it's more like a PlayStation, rather than the Joy-Cons that's going to have the joystick up here and then the other one down here. So being that they're in different spots, it's going to make playing it different. You've also got the D-pad. On most controllers, the D-pad is going to be down here. This stick is going to be up here on all the other Switch controllers. This one's different. So it's designed differently, and I'm not a fan of using it for the Switch. Now, I know this controller is a multi-use controller. They say you can use it for your computer, you can use it for different consoles, you can use it for all those things, but I'm specifically reviewing it as a Switch controller, which is one of the things that it says on there, that it's a pro Bluetooth gaming controller. It works great for the Switch. That's what it was advertised as on Amazon, a Switch controller. And although it connects to the Switch, I'm just not really a fan of this controller. I personally would not buy this controller if I were looking to spend my hard-earned money on a controller for my family, I simply would avoid the 8bitdo controller. And I know that's not positive, and I know I might catch some flack from that, for some people who love this controller, who love the retro type design, but just from a serious usability standpoint, I would not buy this controller for your Nintendo Switch. If you're still not sure which Switch controller you want to buy for your Nintendo Switch, you have to check out this video up here. In this video, I cover this controller, the 8bitdo one, as well as 4 other controllers, wireless controllers for your Nintendo Switch. I do a drop test. I do a distance test to see how far away from the Switch you can get and still have your controller work, as well as many other tests comparing all of these 5 most popular controllers head to head, all 5 of them. I compare them in this giant video that's right up here, so please go ahead and check that out now if you want to know the best controller that I personally love for the Nintendo Switch and which ones survived the drop test the best as well. Again, my name is Matt from RetroOnly.com. I hope this video has been helpful to you. Have a great day.